Good morning, everybody. It is Sunday morning. It is 6:15, and I woke up at 5:30. I stayed up till like 10:30, but I still woke up at 5:30. And I am on a mission. In the process of cleaning out, I can't remember if I vlogged about this or not, but I need to clean out the closet in here and then the closet in there. And I'm talking softly a little bit because Bob is still sleeping. So I've been like reorganizing, and I'm saving all these little boxes for some reason. Excuse me, that's a little tin that had some of Bob's cigars in it, but I don't need it, and it's not like it's cute or something. He just saved it for me because he knows I like to keep little boxes, but it's not exactly cute. So you know. Anyway, so I'm working on that. I decided this closet was a little bit more easy to tackle than maybe that one currently. So I have, I'll just show you in case you're curious what I have in here. So I have candles there. Up there is a Christmas present already, actually, for Carissa that I bought from the Nordstrom anniversary sale. But vases up there, Scentsy things there, and all my Scentsy bars are up there. And then do you remember those party light candle things? I have lots of those votives that are in that basket. Some Candles by Victoria tarts are in that cigar box right there. And then Bath & Body Works candles. And then this is all my old storage. I used to have my Muji drawers, or no, my Alex drawers with all those little things in them. And then I took them out and I just have products laid in there. I think I've showed you this before, but, well, I have if you've seen my collection video, not this one. Like this. I feel like I can see them better that way than I used to have them all in those things. So, and this is all my sports clothes and some of Bob's, but mostly mine. Excuse me. I haven't switched this closet over to the Hug Me hangers yet, but I need to. Anyway, so that's what I'm doing. I am in the process of working on cleaning all this stuff. I had like 4 candles in here to depot, like, you know, these kind of big Bath & Body Works candles, but I just don't need them. I have a couple that are empty already, and I don't need them. So I'm going to recycle that glass. I'm going to take the wax out and then recycle the glass. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing this morning. Nothing too exciting. This closet, though, I'm a very organized person, so the fact that my phone's on. Oh, I did take care of all of this that I showed you guys the other day. So I'm a very organized person. So the fact that I have this closet in my life drives me crazy. I'll have to show you that. Well, here. Do you see this? It gives me heart palpitations. So up here we have all of our boxes from like electronics and stuff. And I just don't know that that's necessary. So I'm going to go through and clean those out. These are what I have left of the cards that I have stamped up in my past. And then a few kind of decorative ribbony things are there. But when we got rid of our desk, I kind of made this shelf. Desk sort of things like tape. Our labeler is right there. I have no idea. So, yeah. This is the guitar storage. Bob bought a guitar, took a few lessons, and then decided it wasn't for him. This is where we keep, because there's no place else to keep it, that griddle that I take when I go to the youth gatherings and make them breakfast and stuff. Anyway. Yeah. I can't even. And so I want to have this handled and that handled before the carpet. So, yep. I have to close this now. These are the only 2 closets really that we have. We have this one out here. It has, and this doesn't need to be organized. This just has extra blankets and then extra towels in it. Up here, and then down here we have extra towels for, or not extra, these are camping towels. I just keep them right there. And then other camping towels, like for the shower and stuff. The thing that I cut Bob's hair with. And then the heating pad is kept there for some reason. And that's where we keep our paper towel. So it's not like I'm this crazy person with like mess behind their closet doors, like all their closet doors, but these two have just kind of gotten out of hand in the past couple of years, and it was mostly since we got rid of the desk. Things just kind of got shoved in there, so it needs to get handled. So that's what I'm doing. So this one is pretty much clean, just because I don't know really what else to do with those. Oh, I need to give that to the Goodwill. I do have some things I need to donate, but these are capris that used to not fit, but now fit. But they don't fit in my other closet. So I'm not quite sure. I need to go through my other closet. My clothes closet as well. But anyway, so I put like all my bags in bags, if that makes sense. That thing back there that says Lion King, that's a blow up mattress. These are all my 31 bags because I am obsessed. So yeah, I feel much better about this. This is the mirror, my vanity mirror I used to use, but it's a touch one and I can't stand it. I love this one so much better. Ignore this mess. You can tell I was standing up to do my makeup. That's what my mirror looks like when I was putting on lipstick standing up before we left last night. Anyway, this is a Zadro. Here, let me show you if you guys can see. Zadro. This was a gift at Christmas time from my friend Vicky. And it's like the best makeup mirror of life. So anyway, I feel good about this. So now the reason, did I say that earlier? One of the reasons that oh yeah, I did, because we're going to be putting the carpet in. So when they do this room, all I'm going to have to do is just move these up to here when they're in here, and then pull out those 3 bags, and of course the Packer game, and then this room will be good. Closet-wise anyway, this room will be good. So these are all my boxes of boxes that need to be thrown away. I'm a box hoarder. What can I say? Okay, first of all, this one's driving me a little bit crazy today. Second of all,
she got up on the wrong side of the bed.
I did not. Can we review who was giving who a hard time? Anyway, so all of a sudden he stops, like we're getting ready to do the pickles and making the brine. He goes, "Oh wait, I have to stop." And I was like, "What?" And then I knew what he was doing, so I grabbed the camera. So last year for his birthday, he turned 50, and we had a party for him. In case any of you are new, we had quite the shindig. And some longtime family friends of mine that I met when I was 4, and so obviously now they've known Bob since we've been together. This was what she had made for him. Oh wait, you're not in focus. Stop moving. And there we go. He thinks he's the canning boss, but really,
no, I don't think this was a giving title to me by you.
No,
and your Mom and Dad.
I had never had anything to do with that. Mom and Dad.
Supervision.
And you know why? Because of what you turn into when you're not in charge. Like what happened earlier today. So he's got a little, wait, turn so they can see a little spoon. He's got a little spoon attached to there. You can't actually wear it for canning because it would get ruined, but it's so cute. Well, we couldn't just take the spoon off, probably. I'm not quite sure how you'd function with that spoon on you all day long. I tell ya. Okay, so what we have in here, in case you're curious, is water, salt, vinegar, pickling spice, and this. So my dad says that some people probably put this in cheesecloth. My dad says he would use like an old t-shirt or whatever. I just use, I cut up a flour sack and, like you use for drying dishes, and I use that with this little rubber band around it. Apple cider vinegar, yeah, that's the one you want to use. I think that's everything that's in there. I'm just looking at my dad's recipe. Vinegar, salt, water, pickling spices, yes. And then you bring this to a boil. I'm doing this like one-handed and asking for trouble, really. So you bring it to a boil, and then I'll show you the next step.
All right. So I went down to the basement. We keep all our canning stuff in the basement. I brought up some jars. So what you want to do when you're canning is, see, Kristin and I saved the old lids once the jars are empty, because we put them back on the jars after we clean them. That keeps the jars clean. However, when it's time to reuse the jars, you don't want to reuse these lids, okay? So you want to throw those away. I mean, if you were in a crunch and you needed to have, you had one or two that you needed to use, yeah, go ahead. I mean, more than likely it's going to work, but good rule of thumb, you do not want to reuse these. Just and they're not that expensive, so just recycle these, get some new ones, and use new ones, okay? So, other than that, our brine is boiling. Kristin's got the pickles all cut up here.
And if you do reuse a lid, put those jars in the fridge right away.
Yeah, if you do reuse a lid, put those jars in the fridge. That's a good point, because those are the first ones you're going to want to eat.
The seal won't be probably.
One thing I can point out with this what makes this whole canning thing go a little quicker when Kristin's helping me, is her ability to cut the stuff up. We had like 25 pickles last night, cucumbers, and she whacked those things up in about 10 minutes. That would have taken me over an hour. I just don't get the art of cutting stuff up, folks. So, and Kristin said, well, she's had a lot of practice doing it. That's why she can do it so fast. So, but yeah, that's a big time saver for me. So, all right. Anything else you want to say, Sassy?
I don't think so. We're gonna we have to drain these now out of the brine.
Okay.
So you can show them that.
Obviously, most of you know what cut up cucumbers look like.
They
That's all
sat
they
in the
are.
brine overnight, and you want to drain them. So
Yeah.
I'm just draining them in a couple of different colanders here.
Yep.
And then we'll pack them. You just pack them just like this in the jars.
Yep.
So we'll show you that when we get to that point.
Yep.
All right. So there's a slight pause in the action. 7:15, and we are headed to the grocery store because we don't have enough mustard seed. We thought we did, but we did
That's
not.
one thing we did. All we did is look to see if we had the container. We didn't look to see how much was in the container.
Which is not something I normally do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I checked my cupboards and stuff. But it's okay because we needed to get, because we didn't go camping last week and we have all this like pizza fixing thing, so we wanted to get a couple of not a pie crust, a pizza crust. You're good. So that we could use that stuff up, just make some homemade pizzas. I probably just broke Laura's heart because I don't make pizza dough. Sorry, honey. Anyway, and what else did I say? Oh, I have to get the crackers that I eat throughout the week, those nut crackers. They only sell them at this one store, the Blue Diamond ones. And I'm almost out of my little bead thingies for my washing machine. So we're going to get all those things handled at one time. Right.
Yeah.
And we decided, since neither one of us really had anything to do, like in between time, because we need to do the pickles first before we can really do anything else. Because I'm not going to shower and get ready and then finish canning, because that's just asking to smell like a pickle. So we decided we would go together and bond.
I don't know why you had to come along.
Honey.
It's too early to go to Fleet Farm.
It is too early. It's
They don't
closed.
open until at 9 on Sunday, I believe.
Otherwise, he would have found a reason to go to Fleet Farm.
All right, so we're back at the, let me put some light on the subject. It's a dark, dreary day again today. The last 3 days have kind of been dark and dreary. We did get some much needed rain on Friday. So we're back home from the store, a little detour we had. And as you can see, Kristin's got the jars all packed with the pickles. We got the brine heating back up over here. You bring that to a boil. And then all we do is, this is dill. Now I could grow this in my garden if I want to, but it doesn't pay. We don't use it. Usually we just make one batch of dill pickles a year, so it doesn't really pay for me to grow. So we just go buy some, and most of the time we end up throwing most of that out too, because you get way more than what you need. You just put a couple of these little heads in each jar. So.
Yep.
And then she's going to put the mustard seed in, and you can put garlic. We don't put garlic in them. You can put garlic in if you choose.
I don't like them. I don't like the garlic for some reason.
Right. So you can see she's putting 2 teaspoons of mustard seed in each jar, and then
This is a 2 teaspoon measuring thing, in case anybody's curious.
yes. So she's doing that. And then we'll put the dill heads in there, and then we'll fill up.
We got mustard seed rolling around.
Oh my goodness! Good thing I haven't mopped yet, folks. That's tomorrow's job. All right, so yeah, then we'll put the, like I said, mustard seed, the dill heads there, a couple in each jar. We'll fill them up with brine, seal them up, and get them in the canner. And get the canner a boiling, and that's pretty much it. They boil for 15. Once the canner comes to a boil, 15 minutes.
And we'll show you how full we fill them.
Yeah.
All right. So I filled them all with the brine. Put the lids on. Now Bob's gonna put those things on.
Bands.
And then bands, yes. And then we will heat up the canner with the water, and we'll put the jars in there to bring it to a boil first, and then it has to boil for 15 minutes, right?
Right.
Great. So that is the next step.
All right, so we've got our, one of the things, another thing I always struggle with canning is how much water do you actually put in a canner? Basically, you need the water to cover the top of the lids in the jars. So the less jars you use, the more water it's going to take. So now our canner holds 7 quart jars. We only have 6. That's fine, because usually you can stick one more right in the middle there. And then if you're going to do multiple batches, you're going to lose some water during the boiling process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this started, because it's got to boil. So Kristin has this nice teapot that she always keeps on the stove. You're going to want to keep that full of water, because if you do multiple batches, you're going to lose some water during the boiling point. So you got your teapot there, it's already got warm water in. Once you get your next round of jars in there, you take your teapot and add the water to the canner until the top of the jars are covered. So, all right, other than that, now it's just a matter of waiting for it to boil. Once it starts boiling, it's 15 minutes. That's about it. When you put the bands on, you want to get them, they don't need to be super, super tight, but, get them on tight so they stay sealed. And then one trick, obviously once you can something, it doesn't need to be in the refrigerator as long as everything seals up. But one little trick is when you do decide to bring them up from your canning room or whatever, wherever you store them, your storage room, and put them in the fridge, I recommend not opening up the lid, but opening the band, unscrewing the band first before you put it in the refrigerator. It's a lot easier to open it then once it gets cold, and then you just need to keep it on there snug. You don't need to have it over tightened once you put them in the refrigerator. So, all right.
Now what are we gonna?
So what are you preparing to do now?
It's time to cut your hair.
Yes, folks.
It's really long.
I need a haircut. I think it's been actually 4 weeks. Normally we try to cut it every 3 weeks, but last weekend we just had too much going on and we didn't get time. So
haircut and a brow trim.
Yep. I like to keep it short. It's a lot easier to maintain. Just so you know, this is pretty much. I'll take a shower yet, but this is my look. Bob Gehm, by Bob Gehm, for Bob Gehm. Okay. So. One other thing too, I showed you the water bath canner with the jars inside. Just for those of you who don't know, they have a cover. You want to use the cover too. I just thought, I know we're smart enough to do that, but I just wanted to point that out for those of you who didn't know. Yes, you want the cover to be on the canner while it's boiling.
A washed pot never boils.
That's right. What'd you say?
A washed pot never boils.
Oh yeah, isn't she cute?
That's the whole point of having a cover.
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh boy.
Here. All right, folks. Well, here's the finished product. 6 quarts of canned dill pickles. And it's 9:30. So we probably lost about 45 minutes because we had to run to the store to get some mustard seed. This would have probably been done by 8:45 if we wouldn't have had to do that. And then once they're done, you just put your jars out, let them cool down, let them dry up a little bit.
Wait for them to make the noise.
Yep, you'll hear a little popping noise. There it is. Look at that. On cue. And in your canner itself, your water bath, you just leave it sit on top of the stove and let it cool down. There's really not much to cleaning them. All you do is dump the water out once the water cools down and rinse them out and let them dry out. Because the canner will stay upstairs now. Because it's that time of year. We did pickle. Actually, we did pickles early this year. Last year I didn't do them until Fair Week. And our county fair here in Chano County where we live is actually Labor Day weekend. It starts the Wednesday before Labor Day and goes through Labor Day itself, Monday. So, and then our adjacent fair is Wapaka County, which is the county just right around the corner, less than a half a mile. Their fair runs actually the weekend before that. So we have our pretty much back to back. There's another click. So, yeah, you hear that noise? That means you did the job right. Here's one thing we didn't mention either. We have very hard water here in this part of Wisconsin. So we use a lot of salt to soften our water. Well, the thing about that is when you fill up your canner with your tap water, you're going to end up with, and you just put your jars in, you're going to end up with a white film on your jars. Doesn't hurt the quality of anything. It just makes it look not as nice. So the way you combat that is just add a little vinegar into your canner. Just open up your gallon jug and just pour. It doesn't, you don't need a cup of it, but it's not like you need an exact measurement either. Just pour some in there, and depending on how many rounds of canning you do, that's how much you know. I would say every other time you can a batch of whatever you're canning, you're going to want to add some vinegar to it just to keep that white film from forming on your jars. And it does seem to work. So, well, you can see Kristin's cutting up vegetables for fajitas and for the week for our lunches, and she boiled some eggs. She's going to make some egg salad, which I forgot about, and I went and bought myself some sandwich bread. So, but that sandwich bread will hold for a week too. So, but as far as the pickles go, I think one of the reasons why people got away from canning, the work part of this, what do you say, half hour?
Yeah.
To cut up the pickles and to make, get the brine and stuff going, that took a half hour. The tedious part is waiting for everything to boil. That's the tedious part about water bath canning.
And you can do so many other things
while
it's happening.
Right. So.
I've done 3 loads of laundry.
Right. We've had breakfast. I've gotten my hair cut. I've got, we've done all kinds of other stuff. But I think I think one of the reasons why people got away from this style of canning is because of the waiting for it's time consuming.
Yeah. Time
consuming, and we unfortunately live in a society where people don't have a lot of time anymore. Everybody's on the go. So, but yeah. Other than that, like I said, the canner will be staying upstairs now because the peaches and pears, they can be arriving anytime from middle of August to the middle of September, and today is the 9th of August, so all the canning stuff will stay upstairs. All right.
It is 10 o'clock now, and I have this is what I'm doing. I got the egg salad made and put away. So, because the eggs got done in between the midst of all this. So I do have, it's my little garbage bowl there, or garbage collection. So I did peppers for the week, and I also cut up these peppers for chicken fajitas. We had this, I don't remember when we bought this, because normally I just buy like chicken tenderloins, cut them up and make fajitas that way, but at some point we bought this. So I'm letting this thaw out. I'm going to cut up the onions and stick them in there. And then tonight we're actually having homemade pizza. I think it's homemade. I'm putting it together, but it's not. It's a crust. So these are the crusts that I like from the grocery store. I'm sure that other places have them, but this is the one in Clinton was the only place I can find them. So there's 2 of them in there for like $4, and it's a good crust. So I'm going to make those for dinner tonight, and I'm actually going to make the fajitas. I'm going to have them all ready. I'm going to cook it in the sauce and everything, so that tomorrow. I do this a lot. Like I make stuff in advance so that I don't get home till almost 5. And keep in mind we go to bed around 9, so I don't get home till almost 5. By the time I am on the treadmill for 45 minutes to an hour, and shower, and come back out here and make it gets really late to eat if I have to start dinner from scratch. You know what I mean? So I do a lot of prep stuff in advance. So that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to cut up the onions and stick those in there, and then a little bit later I'll make them once these have thawed out a little bit more. I still need to shower, obviously, and I want to film Topic Tuesday yet today. And at some point, I want to actually, and I don't know what else I need to do today. My laundry the last load is drying. I finished the one closet I showed you guys that. I've started working on the other one, but it's a work in progress. I don't need to complete it today. Normally projects like that I want to complete from beginning to end in one day, but there are some things I'm going to have to deal with in there and go through and that sort of thing. So anyway, I want to get a lot of it done this week though, because it's recycling week for garbage. So I want to just get a lot of the boxes and that sort of things out of there. Anyway, Bob is out in the, nope, he's not. He was going to be out in the garden. I don't know what he's doing. He will have a garden update for you hopefully here in just a little bit. So yeah, with that, I'm back at it.
All right, folks, so time for the weekly garden update. Out in the garden this week here. And we're looking at the tomatoes here. First of all, I just want you to know I found a way to kind of halfway at least get them propped up so they weren't tipped over on the ground. I had some of these when we had our deck built. I should say when myself and my brother-in-law built our deck on the house, we had plenty of these spindles left over, you know, in between the, you know, the spokes like things. So I just brought some of them out here, pounded them in the ground to help prop these things up so they're not laying on the ground. So, but with that being in mind, I mean, the plants themselves look, I mean, they're ginormous. It's time for these things to start producing some tomatoes here. I mean, there's a few tomatoes on them, but it's time. They need to start. They need to start producing tomatoes. One of the things I want to do is I want to go over sometime, maybe next weekend, and do my father-in-law. I'll show you how he does his tomatoes. Big difference. He's got a lot of tomatoes on his already. They're not ripe yet, but he's got a lot of tomatoes where I don't, you know, I mean, there's blossoms, but again, I'm hoping, you know, I'm almost starting to lean towards the way he does it is probably the best way to do it, and that's maybe, you know, I might be on the lookout for some long stakes for between now and next year planting, and because what he does is he prunes his and things like that, and I'll show you. And there's a reason he does that, and we'll explain that. I'll let him explain all that, why he does it, and we'll go from there. But you know, again, I'm more than happy with how the plants look. I mean, this is what I remember tomatoes looking like: big old bushy plants. But now it's time to start producing. Cucumbers, we're still getting some cucumbers. They're just about done. I'm not too happy with these. I'll be looking for a different variety next year. Pumpkins are doing well. I came out last night. I mean, you can see I've got all kinds of little pumpkins coming here. There's still the big one there. I came out last night and I pulled a couple of the smaller ones off. You don't want too many, because then all you're going to do is end up with little ones. I mean, some people like little pumpkins. That's fine. That's not what we're after here. We're after bigger ones. So, I mean, and the plant itself looks very healthy. If you look at the garden as a whole, between the pumpkin and the two watermelon plants, they've pretty much taken over the garden. And what's amazing is the bigger watermelon plant, there's just a couple of melons. There's one you can see here. I got a little melon started right in here on this plant here. He's just starting. There's a couple other ones that are coming. They're starting to form. But the watermelon plant over here has got a couple of dandies already. And this is the smaller plant. You can see that one there. And I got another one over here. I just stepped on my shoestrings and untied my shoes. So, yep. So these are producing really well. Peppers are doing fantastic. I just picked some peas. There's still plenty of pods. I pick peas Mondays and Wednesdays. I'll probably be digging the potatoes. I mean, you can see the potatoes are the plants are starting to dry out, and that usually is an indicator that it's time for them to be dug out. So I'll probably be doing that next week. It's getting warm out here, actually. Cantaloupe is growing, and there's all kinds of blossoms, but no melons yet. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I'm concerned. And I know it's kind of early to be talking about this, but today is August 9th. And, you know, when I talked about the tomatoes, it's time for these tomatoes to start producing fruit. The reason I'm concerned is with especially the tomatoes and the cantaloupe, and even somewhat the watermelon. Our average date for the first frost in this part of our state is September 10th. Well, today's August 9th. So that means, you know, basically we're a month away from the potential of our first frost. Now I know there's things that can combat that, because I'm thinking by the time that rolls around, I mean, the peas will be done, the potatoes will be done, maybe we'll have some peppers, they could be done, we may still have some, but I'll be able to set the sprinkler up in one spot, and I can turn the sprinkler on in the morning when I leave for work, and then Kristin can just turn it off, because watering your plants will help, you know, that'll help with the frost. Keep them watered in the morning. That's one little technique that you can use, unless it gets down to like 20 or 15, 20 degrees. You know, I mean, frost is 32 or below, obviously, we all know that. So as long as it doesn't drop, you know, I want to say, I mean, a good hard frost would be anything less than 25 degrees. If it gets colder than that, we're done. You know, there's nothing we can do about that. But as long as it stays, you know, those first couple nights where it frosts, if it stays, you know, 30, 32 degrees, then all you do is, you know, one way to combat that is have your sprinklers ready and turn them on and keep the plants watered, because the water won't freeze as long as you're keeping them watered. So, and you do it in the morning, because the coldest part of the day usually is when the sun first comes up in the morning, right? When the sun first comes up, that's usually the coolest part of the day. So that's why you want to do it then. So other than that, yeah, again, you know, I'm concerned, but you know, I'm pretty happy with how things are coming as far as that goes. You know, and like I said, lots of blossoms on the cantaloupe. So hopefully we'll start getting some melon. And go from there. Otherwise, you know, other than the corn, I am more than happy with how the garden turned out this year, and I have ways to try to get us some corn next year too. I'm already thinking about that. So, and again, hopefully the tomatoes, especially the tomatoes. I mean, if we don't get any cantaloupe, we don't get any cantaloupe. I just planted that for the heck of it anyway. But hopefully we'll get some tomatoes here. All right, that's the weekly garden update.
All right, it's 11 o'clock, and I am so tired. I don't think I would be at my best today if I were to film. So I'm going to film in the morning tomorrow for Tuesday, which will be fine. And I took my nails off because of all the having them in the water. So I do the gel nails every 2 weeks. But I actually had said recently that when did I say that? In a video? I don't know. That I wanted to take them off and just let them breathe for a couple weeks. So I did that. They can't be like with nothing on them, or that doesn't work well for them. So I'm going to put, I think I still have enough of this, the Nail Teaks Formula 2. I'm going to put that on them. Because that QVC stuff, what's it called? The pink. Do you know what I'm talking about? That doesn't work. Not at all. And not for me, it peeled right off in a sheet. This is the only sort of nail therapy thing that doesn't like peel off in a sheet. But, so I'm going to put that on my nails. And then, I might just sit down and watch some YouTube without doing something while I'm watching YouTube. Usually I'm cleaning, or you guys know how I am. So I think I'm just going to sit down for a little bit because I'm pretty wiped out. Yeah. So there's probably a lot of footage already because we've been pretty busy today. So hopefully that won't be boring for the rest of the day. By the way, how I take off my gel nails is either I use the Julep Parties Over little squares. I always use these, which are the little nubby things from Julep. I'll try to remember to link them below for you guys. And then I take a cotton ball, and I use just one cotton ball for hand. I just rip off pieces because it works better if you don't have as much cotton there. So I rip off a whole bunch of pieces of cotton and dunk them in acetone. I use this, pure acetone. I dunk them in that, and then I let them sit on my nails, and then I use this little thing to kind of help scrape them off. Then I buff them with this. And then I'm going to put the stuff on. There you go. I can tell that I'm tired. I don't nap, but I might consider it. It could happen. So I'm working on putting together our pizzas, and I wanted to show you guys, by the way, in case you're curious, one of the reasons that I like this Mama Mary's is because they come, see how there's like a ridge here? So everything, it's not messy. Everything stays incorporated. I have no idea what I look like right now, so my apologies, but I've just kind of had a lazy afternoon of doing some YouTube stuff, answering some emails, tweets, that kind of thing. So I'm just been kind of a lazy day, and we're going to eat like an early dinner. And we're going to eat like 4, so we didn't really have lunch, so we're just going to do the 2-meal plan today. So anyway, I just thought I would show you that. And these are so easy. You just preheat your oven. When I'm working on the fajitas, get them ready for tomorrow as well. So you just preheat your oven, you brush with a little bit of olive oil, and put your stuff on there, and then, yeah, 7.5 to 10 minutes. So I will get them both ready. I cook them both on this pan. I prefer them on this pan too, like my Pampered Chef pizza stone, because of the thickness of the crust, I think is why. But anyway, and there it is. I already took my piece. So I did onions, peppers, mushrooms, and the little baby pepperoni thingies, and some cheese and some seasoning. Ready to dig in?
Yep.
All right, we're ready to call this a vlog. We were up early. We're gonna do nothing the rest of the day, right?
I just gotta water the baskets.
Right. He didn't find anything at the flea market.
No.
So yeah. So anyway, we hope that you guys enjoyed this, and we hope that you enjoyed seeing the pickling process, and that maybe you learned a little something if you were interested. And that is that. So we hope you have a really great week. You'll probably see this about, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday. So I hope you're having a good start to the week, and that you have a good rest of the week, and we will see you next weekend. Bye.